Yo, what's up everybody? It's your boy Floss, back again with another video. And today we're going to do the real review for the HTC U11. Now y'all know my motto, you're only as good as your last phone. And if you watch my videos, you've seen the last HTC phone that I reviewed was the HTC U. And in that video, I was completely bashing that phone because it was overpriced garbage. Well, now with the HTC U11, I can confidently say that HTC is back in the game. On a scale of 1 to 10, this phone is a major go. Alright, this phone is so dope. Now, I'm actually putting this phone as number 3 in my top 5 phones. Number 1, Galaxy S8 Plus. This is still the best phone out. Alright, this is the big dog. Number 2, iPhone 7 Plus. Now, if you got a bunch of phones, you might as well have one Android and one iPhone. And if you're going to get an iPhone, get the 7 Plus. Get the best of both worlds. Number 3, HTC U11. This phone is so dope. That's the theme of this video. This phone is so dope. Number 4, Google Pixel XL. This is still the smoothest Android phone out. And number 5, I'm going with the Moto Z Droid. This is another smooth Android phone, but the Moto mods is what makes this phone a beast. Then after that, we got LG G6, we got the Mate 9, OnePlus 5, all these other phones. Now, let me start off by answering the number 1 question everybody been asking me all week. You got an HTC 10, you seen my last video for the HTC U, and you was like, fuck that bullshit, I'm not upgrading to that. Well, should I upgrade and get the HTC U11? And the answer is yes. You're getting a better built phone, you're getting a real camera, you got better speakers, faster processor, faster GPU, and the phone is now water resistant. So now you're getting a real upgrade. So I would say definitely upgrade your phone. Now, just like any other product that I review, there's always going to be some things that I don't like. So we'll talk about those first. Now, some of these things are specific to me. And y'all know I'm Petty Roosevelt, so I'm about to get real petty. But I'll start off with some of the major things that I don't like first. Number 1, the price. Now, I know what y'all saying, $640 for this. That's not bad when you compare it to the iPhone 7. You compare it to the Galaxy S8 Plus. That's cool. But you got to remember, when you're buying these phones, there's a thing called tax. Now, $640. Now, keep in mind, this is what I paid. Now, if you could get a better deal, then that's on you. Don't watch this video 3 months from now when the phone is $500 and say, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'll show you exactly what I paid for it. I zoom in on that. $640 plus tax, $739. All right, so that's basically $740. Now, when you buy this phone, you're going to want to buy a case. You're going to want to buy some accessories. So now you're getting into almost $800. Now, that price is too high. Like I said, it's cheaper than buying an iPhone and the Galaxy S8. But nowadays, anything more than $500 for a phone, to me, that's too high. Now, look, this is not a sponsored review. All right, this is not a loaner or a display phone. I had to buy this myself. So I'm a consumer. That's why I call this the real review. Now, us as consumers, we got to speak out. Otherwise, these companies going to think it's okay to be raping us with no Vaseline for the price of these phones. Now, keep in mind, you got other phones that you could get for less than $600. You got LG G6, you got Huawei Mate 9, you got OnePlus 5. These are all basically flagship phones for $500. So nowadays, you don't have to spend almost $800 for a quality phone. Now, I know what some of y'all haters going to say. Oh, if you can't afford it, then don't buy it. Shut up, asshole. Obviously, I can afford it. That's how I got it. But the thing is, just because you can pay for something, don't mean you have to like the price. When you go to a fancy restaurant and you see that menu and it's $45 for a lobster tail, nobody likes to pay that price. You'd rather pay $20. I understand you got to pay to play, but you don't have to like it. Now, us as consumers, we got to start speaking out. And shout out to LG and Huawei and OnePlus for lowering the prices. Some of these companies actually do listen. So I don't like the price. Relative to iPhone 7 and Galaxy S8, yeah, it's good, but I don't like it. Next, storage options. Now, this phone only comes in one storage option. Now, you get 4 gigs of RAM, but 64 gigs of storage. Now, that ain't enough. All right, that ain't enough. Nowadays, all of these phones shoot 4K video. So if you're shooting 4K video, granted, you do have a micro SD card slot for expandable memory, so we give them that. But that's something that you're gonna have to pay. You don't get a free micro SD card. You gotta buy that. So that's more money out of your pocket. So nowadays in 2017, all of these phones should come with 128 gigs of storage, mandatory. All right, OnePlus, you get 128 gigs for $540. That's a great deal. A lot of y'all don't shoot 4K video, but a lot of y'all do. Nowadays, you're on Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook. Everything is about pictures and video. If you got kids, it's summertime, you're outside, you're going on vacation, you're going to want to shoot those 4K videos. You need more storage. And keep in mind, the OS takes up storage and your apps take up storage. So 64 gigs, not enough, especially for $740. Next, no wireless charge. Now here's the thing. You got this glassy, what's the term for this? The optical spectrum hybrid deposition, all of that fancy shit, but you can't wirelessly charge your phone. Now, some of y'all gonna say that's not a big deal, and that's true, it's really not. But if you got a dope office desktop setup, or you got a Galaxy S8 or an LG G6 with wireless charge, and you use that wireless charge, then you know what I'm talking about. That's a hot feature. A lot of y'all don't understand the difference between a gimmick and a non-gimmick. Just because your phone don't have something doesn't mean that it's a gimmick. Or just because your phone has something that you don't use doesn't mean it's a gimmick. If you use it, it's nothing faster than getting in your job, getting in your desk, or wherever you at, put your phone in your wireless charger, and you good. Now you got to go to the bathroom, pick up your phone, and bounce. No wires all over the place, nothing. You just put on your wireless charger, and you keep it moving. So for me, wireless charge, that's a major plus. Am I going to say don't buy this phone because it doesn't have it? No, I just don't like that. Next, no headphone jack. Now, I really hate this shit. And I'm blaming Apple for this. All right? Shout out to Apple for starting that bullshit trend of no headphone jacks. Now, look, I understand if you bought a car recently and it doesn't have a cassette tape, a cassette tape player in your car. I understand that because nobody uses cassette tapes anymore. I know some of y'all young cats is like, what is he talking about? But back in the days, we used to have tapes, cassette tapes in your car, and then you notice that slowly but surely, companies started phasing them out because of CDs. Now, a lot of new cars don't even come with CD players. That's another story. But a headphone jack, that's something that is nowhere near being phased out yet. Even when you buy wireless headphones, all of them are going to come with a wire. And now most of these headphones that you buy, Beats and Monsters and Blue headphones, Sennheiser, all of these headphones that come out, they still have regular 3.5 audio cables. None of them have USB Type-C cables. And when you jump in your car, I know everybody's going to say, oh, I use Bluetooth in the car. Not me. I use straight up auxiliary cable when I get in the car because it sounds better. No headphone jack, that's so whack. And that rhymed too. No headphone jack, that's so whack. Let me write that down for my next mixtape. I got in my car, was going to Six Flags Great Adventure. I'm halfway there. I said, you know what, now let me plug in my phone. I left a little adapter home. Now I got an adapter for my Moto Z. No headphone jack on this bullshit either. I don't like that. But the Moto Z adapter didn't work. So it wasn't even cross compatible. Now I can't use my auxiliary cable to play my music. That is such a whack feature. Now you get to the gym, you got your wireless headphones and the battery's dead. If you don't have your adapter, now you got no music. So no headphone jack, that's a corny trend. I hope that trend gets phased out. Shout out to Galaxy for not going that route. All right, shout out to Google Pixel for not going that route. A lot of companies are not going that route just because Apple did. LG still got a headphone jack. It's a shame that we even got to talk about that. But the one time that you leave your adapter home, then you're going to realize how whack not having a headphone jack is. I'm rhyming all over the place, bars. Let's keep it moving. Next, RAM management. Now, you got 6 gigs of RAM, 4 gigs of RAM on this phone. That's pretty good. It handles the phone perfectly. But the problem with this phone is if you're multitasking and you got 10 apps open at the same time, when you go back to one of your apps, it's going to refresh that app. Now, a lot of phones do that, but a lot of phones don't do that. Galaxy S8, iPhone 7 Plus, those phones have excellent RAM management. If you're on Instagram and you're looking at some nice buns and your girl walk in and you got to exit out, then you have a little small talk for 30, 40 minutes. Then she leave and you want to go back to the buns real quick. On your HTC 10, if you're multitasking and you're doing other stuff at the same time, when you go back to Instagram, it's going to refresh your page. Now, I hate that. Now, if you're not multitasking, then it holds the RAM good, but I like to have 10, 12, 15 apps open at the same time, so I don't like that feature. Next, no optical image stabilization on the front-facing camera. Now, is that a big deal? No. But it is a big deal when you had it on your HTC 10. Now, this is one of the things that I don't like when companies do. When you have something that works and it works good, why get rid of it on your next phone that you upgrade into that costs more? Why go backwards? You know, I don't like shit like that. It's the same way when they took off the IR blaster. Why do that? If you're known for having one thing and it works and nobody's complaining about it, why remove it on the next version? Now, for me, I'm not really heavy with the front-facing camera too much. Selfies here and there, maybe little Skype calls here and there. But a lot of y'all going to buy this phone and you're going to want to use this as a media phone. You're going to be outside vlogging. You're going to be shooting your videos for Instagram, shooting your Facebook videos. It's going to be mad shaky with your front-facing camera. So I don't like that. Next. Now, this has to do with the display. You got the big giant bezels. Let's open this up real quick. You got your big bezels on your display. See that big giant bezel on the bottom? All right, so you got a big forehead and a big giant chin. Now, if you look at all of the new phones coming out, look at the Galaxy phone. This is basically bezel-less. Look at your LG G6. Slim and bezel-less. If y'all seen the renders for the new Google Pixel, that phone looks amazing. Same thing, bezel-less style. Now, I will say this. I do prefer to have the fingerprint sensor on the front. But if it was up to me, I'd rather have no fingerprint sensor and just a bezel-less display. Now, you've seen the iPhone 8, no fingerprint sensor. A lot of people are like, oh, you know, getting all up in arms about that. Anybody that has a Galaxy S8 Plus or a Galaxy S8, you understand why a fingerprint sensor is going to be phased out soon. Because once you get that iris sensor and that facial recognition software, once you get it down pat like Galaxy did on their phone, I can't, honestly, I'm not even exaggerating, I can't even tell you the last time I touched the fingerprint sensor on my Galaxy phone. That's how good the iris sensor works. And it's actually better than having a fingerprint sensor. So now if I'm sitting around outside and I'm eating some fried chicken and I got grease all over my hands, I don't have to worry about the fingerprint sensor not working. If I'm in the gym and I'm sweating bullets, I don't have to worry about wiping my finger off to get the fingerprint sensor. The iris sensor, if you never use this, this is one of the best features about this phone. It works in the daytime, the nighttime, rain, snow, doesn't matter. Iris sensor always works. So when you get this phone right here, HTC U, it's going to have that retro look. Now, some of y'all want that look, and I'm not mad about that. So I can respect that. Some of y'all want the retro look. You like to have a big square phone with your big, you know, recently used apps button in your big square on this side and your big fingerprint sensor in the middle. Some people like that. I'm not going to argue with that. But me personally, I like the bezel-less, more display, slim, more sleek, new looking phones. I got mad tongue tied. All right, let's keep it moving. Now, the next thing I don't like. Now I got to hold up. Let me put my petty hat on real quick. I had to let me switch. Now let's get petty real quick. No always on display. Now, a lot of phones don't have that, but a lot of phones do. Now, not only does this phone not have always on display, but you don't have your ambient notifications. So what that means is if I leave my phone like this and I got the phone on silent, if I'm getting text messages, I will never know. I got to pick up the phone and then I got to double tap the screen to see what's going on. Now, at least with the iPhone, when you pick it up, you automatically see what's going on. You don't have the motion gesture like that to just see your apps. And with always on display, not only do I not have to pick it up, I don't have to touch it, I can automatically see what's going on my phone. Now, if you got a desktop setup and you got your phone on a dock, what good is having your phone on a nice dock and you can't see what's going on? So they should have added an always on display. And this is another thing, man. Now, I'm not even talking to y'all. I'm talking to HTC. HTC, what are y'all doing? You see what's out on the market. Right? You see what LG is doing. You see what Samsung is doing. You see what Google and Apple is doing. Why not copy the best features from their phone and put it on your phone? Why not do that? You know, now, I will say this. This is probably the best HTC phone that came out in a while. But it could have been so much better. If I was working for your company, this phone would have been so much better. And let me tell you a couple of things I would have added. Number one, an IR blaster. Now, normally I would say IR blasters, yeah, you know, not really a big deal because a lot of companies don't use them anymore. But HTC LG. These is companies, even Samsung. These is companies that was known for having an IR blaster. So why not put it? Look at Huawei. Look at the Mate 9. You see that little dot right there? That's the IR blaster. Look how small that is. You mean to tell me you couldn't just drop a little IR blaster right on the top of that? Now, some of y'all think IR blasters is a gimmick, but it's nothing like being able to go into the diner and turn off the TV, go into the doctor's office, turn the channel. You're somewhere sitting in the airport and the TV's mad loud and you're trying to have a phone call, turn the TV off. There's nothing like having the IR blaster for automatic trolling. Next, now this is another thing that I don't like, but it is what it is. The microphone in the back. Now, when I did the unboxing video, I said the hole in the back, and everybody was like, oh, that's not a hole, it's for the microphone. You know, when I make a video, this is a tech channel. This is not a kindergarten channel. I shouldn't have to explain every little single thing. Of course, this is not just a random hole in the back of a phone. You don't have to say it because it's a microphone. The point I was trying to make is it's an eyesore, especially when you're marketing this phone with the optical spectrum hybrid deposition build to it. Look how beautiful that is. But here's the problem. Once you see that dot or that hole or whatever you want to call it, you can't unsee it. Now, my thing is, I think they could have put it in the top, maybe put it toward the bottom. I don't know. I'm not a designer. I don't know. But I know what looks ugly and what doesn't. And that hole in the back looks ugly. It's just like if you get a car, brand new car, and you get a little scratch in the bumper. Nobody else might not notice it, but you notice it. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Every time you come out the car wash and your car is nice and shiny, just like this phone, nice and shiny and glistening, your eyes go directly to that little dot. And then when you buy your cases, all of the cases got to have that dot in the back. Now, in this clear case, it doesn't look too bad, but I just ordered this. I'll make a video. It ain't too many cases out, but I ordered the Spigen, the carbon fiber case, and the hole in the back looks even bigger than this. It just looks corny. It looks corny. I don't like that. Now, for the functionality that you get with that microphone, yeah, I'm not going to complain. All right, so this is not one of the things I don't like. It's just one of the things I wish they would have did different. This is my I wish list now. It's not really my don't like list. Next, dual camera setup. Now, this is one of the best cameras in the phone game right now, but why not have the dual camera setup? You got Apple doing dual cameras, LG, you got Huawei doing dual cameras, even OnePlus. Now, nowadays, that portrait mode, everybody trying to be like Apple and lock down the portrait mode game, even though right now Apple and Huawei with the P10, they're the only ones really doing it correctly. The OnePlus 5 is doing it pretty good, but it's not as dope. But why not add the dual camera setup? You want people to buy this phone. Now, look, if I'm a photographer or I'm heavy into photos and all that, why would I go in the store and walk past the iPhone, past the OnePlus, past the LG, past the Huawei, all these phones that have dual cameras? You know, with the dual cameras, you get more zoom also. Why would I walk past all of those phones to go to the phone with the single camera? I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And on this phone, you don't have it. Next, screenshot scroll. Now, this is just being super petty, but there's a feature. I just went over this with the OnePlus. I'm not going to waste too much time going into that, but it's on the Galaxy. It's on the OnePlus. When you take a screenshot, you hit the button and it automatically scrolls and takes another screenshot. Now, for me, I deal with a lot of spreadsheets and a lot of confidential information that I get an email, and it's those self-destruct emails. I want to screenshot it real quick and screenshot and keep scrolling down. Having to keep scrolling down, even when I'm on my Facebook wars, all right? Shout out to everybody on Facebook. I like to screenshot. With this one, you're doing it manually. Having that little screenshot scroll button, that's a nice touch. They should have did that, and that's something that they could still do with an update. Next, Edge Sense. All right, now we're calling this Edge Sense the squeeze factor. That is one of the dopest features of this phone, but the problem with it right now is it's very limited. Now I'm gonna go into that in a little bit more detail when I talk about everything that I do like, because that's one of the things I like the most about this phone, the Edge Sense, the squeeze factor. You see, I just squeeze it and take it right to my camera. Edge Sense is a major go, but the problem is it's very limited. Now, one of the things I would have liked to have is if you could just squeeze. Now, I talk to my daughter on the phone all day long. It would have been nice if I could just squeeze the phone and automatically call an assigned contact, or squeeze the phone and take me directly to a specific text message. That would have been nice. Right now, there's some options and features with it. We'll go over that in a minute, but it's very limited. Now, the last thing that I don't like, I don't like and I wish was different, I got to show y'all this one. It has to do with the color schemes. Now, this is something that this just kind of annoys me. Check this out. Now, if you've seen the colors of this phone, I didn't want this blue one, even though the blue did grow on me. But the phone does come in 4 different colors. All right, so you got the Iron Man red. I don't know if y'all ever seen the red one in person yet. My cousin got it. It's ridiculous. All right, that might be the best looking phone that I ever seen. The red HTC U11 is incredible. All right, we calling that the Iron Man phone. That's cool. This blue one right here. All right, this one is dope. Then you got the adamantium silver and you got the metallic black. All right, $650. Now check this out. If I want the phone for AT&T, I could get all 4 colors. T-Mobile, all 4 colors. Verizon, all 4 colors. If I want the unlocked version, all 4 colors, even though the unlocked version only works on AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. Now, check out the bullshit. If I go to Sprint, there's only 1 color available, the blue. Why do that? Why do that? Now, look, we're not talking about Bob's Fish and Chips and wireless. We're talking about Sprint. All right, now, a lot of y'all people still got this image of Sprint in your mind from back in the days, like Sprint is some kind of food stamp phone network. Sprint is for poor people and all that. If you live in New York City or some of these other major cities that have Sprint Spark network, you'll realize that Sprint Spark is just as fast as Verizon and AT&T, and it's faster than T-Mobile. It's way better than Boost and Metro and all these other companies. Sprint is a heavy hitter in New York City. So now, with only coming out with 1 color, HTC, you're cutting yourself out of a huge market of the game. Some people just don't like this blue phone. Now, me, I don't care. But I know a lot of people that would not buy a blue phone. They're just not buying it. If it's not black or white or silver, they don't want it. Even though the red is the best looking one, some people just don't want a red or blue phone because it seems a little young and kiddie. Like, you know, grown men ain't gonna really pull it out no blue phone like that. You know what I'm saying? I had no choice. Because that's the only one that was available. But if it was up to me, I definitely wouldn't have got blue. I would have got the red or the adamantium silver. Now, I know I be ranting. Let me take off my petty hat, put my regular hat back on. Now, let's get a wipe down and we'll talk about everything about this phone that I do like, which is a lot. Number 1. All right, now we're talking about everything that I do like. Number 1, the look. This is one of the best looking phones in the universe. All right, in the whole universe, you're not really going to find too many phones that look better than this. Now, this is a double-edged sword because it does look so dope. I got to keep saying that, so dope. It does look so crazy, but it is an ultra fingerprint magnet. I guess that's why they call it the HTC U ultra fingerprints. So you're going to need a case, or you're going to have to be ultra, there you go that word again, you're going to have to be ultra vigilant with your microfiber cleaning cloth. And even when you use the microfiber cleaning cloth, that only lasts about a second. That's only good for you wipe it down, put it on the table. Once you pick it back up, you're going to have mad smudges and fingerprint and all that. But nobody can deny this phone just looks so amazing. This is one of those phones that turn heads. Every time I whip, now I personally don't use a case on this phone, because when I pull this phone out in the daytime and the sunlight reflects off the, what was that word? Off the optical spectrum hybrid deposition. When the sunlight hits that, it's going to literally blind anybody that's next to you. It turns different colors. It goes from blue to silver to white. It just looks amazing. I know I'm on hype beast mode right now, but this is it, man. This is the best looking phone. This one actually looks better than the Galaxy, and it looks better than the LG G6. Now, they all shiny, but this one just has a certain kind of shine to it. Hard to explain. You got to see it in person. Now, I know the video is making it look like a little shine, a little shine magnet. Look at it in person. You're going to be impressed. Next, build quality. Now, this is HTC's best built phone. Why? Because now it's water resistant. So what good is having a solid build quality like on the HTC 10? Yeah, it feels solid, feels good in the hands and all of that, but you drop it in the water and your phone is assed out. Now, with this phone, you're completely weatherproof. All right, this is IP67. That means you can submerge it underwater for 30 minutes. This is the official summertime phone right now. With this beautiful build, you don't have to worry about putting some big, dumb out-of-box case on it because you have to worry about it getting wet. No, you could rock out like this. Now, as far as drop tests and all that, I don't do that because I be buying these phones. But so far, it seems pretty durable. You see, I don't use a case, and you don't see any scratches. And I've been using this phone every day for over 2 weeks. Feels so good in the hands, ladies. You know the procedures. Build quality and look-wise, this phone is a major, major, major go. It's a head turner. Next, fingerprint sensor. Now, we talked about this in the unboxing video. HTC, Huawei, OnePlus, and Apple, they got the best fingerprint sensors in the game, and this one is no different. All right, this is the best fingerprint sensor on an HTC phone yet. Now, even the HTC U and the HTC 10, those fingerprint sensors ain't no slouch, but this one just works 100% of the time, and I'm back here sweating. I don't know if y'all can see my arms. I'm back here sweating because I got the AC off. What's the temperature out here today? It got to be about 90. Well, it says 83, but I'm down here with no windows open. Got to be about 90 degrees. So even with the moist fingers, all right, nice and moist, keep it moist. Even with the moist fingers, fingerprint sensor does work 100% of the time, and it's super fast. All right, so the fingerprint sensor on this, major go. Next, let's talk about the display. Now, you got a quad HD display on this, all right, mad PPIs. Now, I usually rock this on max brightness. All right, so let's throw it up to max. Viewing angles in the sun, you're not going to have no problems. This phone is almost too bright. Now, if you leave your phone on max brightness and you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to check to see if anybody liked your photo, you're going to get blinded and you're going to be wide awake. All right, so my advice would be make sure you don't leave this on maximum brightness and look at it in the middle of the night. The display is just awesome. Now, it's LCD. Y'all know I prefer AMOLED over LCD, but nowadays these LCD panels, look how black the black is, all right? It's not Wesley Snipes status, but it's almost there. You can see a little separation on the AMOLED panel. Sometimes you don't even see any separation, but it is what it is. No complaints on the display. Super bright, super beautiful. It's a go. Next, let's talk about the speakers. Now, let me pull up some music real quick so y'all can hear this. Speakers on this, ridiculous. Now, I got to switch it up on. I could do a little comparison. Matter of fact, why not? I'll do a little comparison. Let me pull out my HTC. Hold up. All right, now check this out. I wanted to show y'all how loud these speakers are and how much louder they are compared to the HTC 10. So same song, here's the HTC 10. Max volume.
I'm still trapping every day. Shit was getting hot, so I had to switch up on the play. Switch it up. I've been stirring for some years. They've been jacking that, so I had to switch up on the wave.
Now here's the HTC 11.
I'm still trapping every day. Shit was getting hot, so I had to switch up on the play. Switch it up. I've been stirring for some years. They've been jacking that, so I had to switch up on the wave. We used to ball out in LA.
All right, so you heard it for yourself. The speakers are ridiculous. Now, these are some of the best sounding speakers. Not only do they sound loud, but when you're listening to the music, you can actually feel the music in your hand. Now, you would think that without dual front-facing speakers, it's not going to sound as good as some of the old HTC phones used to sound. This one sounds incredible. So if you're buying this as a media phone with the display and the speakers, you're going to love it. All right, so speakers, major go. Now, since we're speaking of speakers, let's talk about one more thing that I do like. Next, the hi-fi deck. Now, I got to mention this. These U-Sonic headphones that you get, free with your purchase, not free, free with your purchase. These are the best sounding headphones that I ever got with any phone that came in the box, period. Before that, I would say the LG V10, those had some crazy headphones, but these right here, do not lose these headphones. They sound so dope. Now you get your 32-bit DAC, and it doesn't only work with these headphones. Any set of headphones that you plug in, they're going to sound great. You're going to need that little headphone adapter, but they're going to sound great. You got HTC Boom sound, and HTC does it right. I would say between this and the LG V20, these are the two best sounding phones that I got when it comes to music. Now, that's important. If you're buying this phone, maybe you got a heavy commute back and forth to work. If you're on the train or the bus for an hour, then that's something that you're going to want. That's something that's going to be important to you. How does your music sound on your phone? Even with the stock headphones that come with the phone, the DAC on this is incredible. All right, this phone is so dope. Let's keep it moving. Next, let's talk about the camera. Now the camera on this, let me show y'all some test pictures I took. Check this out. Ooh, look at that. Look at the color. Now this is one of the, I'm not going to turn this into a big camera review. Y'all just going to have to take my word for it. This is the best HTC camera yet. Now HTC always had good cameras, but the main problem with them was low light photos. Now with this camera, you can take some great low light photos. Check this out. I took this in the bodega. You know it's not a real New York City bodega if you don't walk in and they got 4 dudes in the back playing dominoes. If the dude behind the counter don't got a straw hat on, you walk in the door, they don't play bachata music, and you don't see a cat walking around, you're not in a bodega. Now this little cat right here got white shoes on. Not as clean as Xerxes, but they white. Nevertheless, let me show y'all. Let me just keep scrolling. I took a bunch of photos. Oh, check this out. Now, this is the same picture I took with the OnePlus 5. Matter of fact, if y'all want to see that real quick, why not? Let me see. Do I got my OnePlus 5 handy? I'll show y'all the same picture I took with the OnePlus 5. Same exact picture. All right, now the OnePlus 5 camera is no slouch, but this camera just looks beautiful. Now this is a low light photo. All right, desktop setup looking mad boss. Now I want to show y'all the best part about this camera. Now you do got pro mode. I'll show you that in a second. But the best part about this camera is actually the video camera. Now the video camera, what's the word? I forgot. I just had it at the top of my, it's an acoustic microphone, some shit like that. But basically, you see that little mic on the back? Say you're recording something. When you zoom in, the mic also zooms in. Now I got some perfect demos of that, but I don't want to put nobody on blast. I should have took my time and did some better ones. But I'll show you this one I took the other day in the rain. Watch this. Now I'm just videotaping. I was parked outside illegally, so I had to wait outside to make sure I don't get a ticket. But while I was there, I just decided to zoom in the camera and watch how you're gonna hear it get louder. All right, watch this. You see that? Look, I'll put it a little closer to the mic. Now just listen. You hear how loud that got when I zoom in? When you zoom in, you can actually hear the rain hitting the car even louder. So when there's people talking, you can hear more of their voice. If you're recording a live band or something, the music will get louder. The camera and the video camera on this is the best HTC camera yet. Now, when you go to your camera, you do got some different modes. Let's just breeze through those real quick. You got pro mode. You got hyperlapse, slow motion. You got your selfie panorama. Now, that's not wide angle like on the LG G6. It's basically just a selfie panorama. It works pretty good, but I would have preferred a wide angle lens camera. It is what it is. Let's see what else. Did I miss anything? Yeah, you got your selfie video. Basically, the best part about this is pro mode. Now, personally, I don't use it too much, but every now and then when I'm bored and I want to take a good picture, I go to pro mode and play around with the settings. Pro mode is mandatory on any camera. So the camera on this is a major go, but you're going to love the video camera and you're going to love that zoom in mic. You want to eavesdrop on a conversation, all you have to do is zoom in and you're going to hear that conversation a little bit more clear. So the camera, video, major go. Next, let's talk about battery life. Now, battery life, I could have easily put this on one of the things that I don't like, but this is also a double-edged sword because battery, now, heavy use. When I say heavy use, that means I wake up at 10 o'clock, I'm in the bed, my phone is always on max brightness. I wake up at 10 o'clock and I'm on my phone because a lot of my work I do from the phone. So I'm on my phone from 10 all the way to 3 straight. So that means I got my Bluetooth speaker playing some music. I got Instagram open on one web page. I got my emails open. You know, I'm going back and forth. I'm on Facebook, leaving comments and all that. So heavy use nonstop. With heavy use on this phone, I could get 4 hours. And sometimes, depending on if I'm not using video and music, I could get maybe 4.5 hours. Now that's pretty much average to everything else that's out. Compared, especially when you comparing it to phones that have a 3,000 milliamp battery. Now you can't compare this to something that has a 3,800 milliamp battery or 4,000 milliamp battery. Of course, you're gonna get more. but this one is not optimized badly. It's optimized actually pretty good. So 4 hours to a little bit more of screen on time, that's pretty good. That's basically average. But now here's where the battery is so dope on this phone. The standby time and the ultra battery saver. Now I took this phone to Six Flags Great Adventures. I can tell y'all a quick story. I took this phone off the charge at 9 o'clock in the morning. I had to go to my daughter's graduation. We had to be there at 10 o'clock. So I took the phone off the charge at 9 o'clock in the morning. That's one of the days when I said I was doing a full HTC U11 test. I'm not bringing no other phones with me, just one phone for backup, but I'm not going to touch it. Took the phone off the charge at 9 o'clock in the morning, 100% charge. Now I'm in the graduation at 10 o'clock. I'm recording walking on stage, get a diploma. I'm recording them singing and all that. One thing I will say about this phone, this is one of those phones that you could watch. You could literally watch the battery percentage go down in front of your eyes. Now I'm watching it go down from 96, take it back out of my pocket again, and it's on 90. I'm like, where the fuck did those extra couple of percentages go just that fast? Whatever. So it goes down to 90, 80, 85, 70. Now my battery's on 70. So we leave graduation going straight to Six Flags Great Adventures. I get in the car, don't put it on the car charger, just got it in my pocket. Get to Six Flags. Now, you know, Six Flags, you're taking mad pictures, taking mad videos. Now, this is not heavy use, though. It's in your pocket, then it's out of your pocket, in your pocket, out of your pocket. By the time we left Six Flags, they closed at 8 o'clock at night. We stayed there till they closed. By the time we left Six Flags, my battery percentage was on 30%. So now I said, let me put it in power saving mode and see if I can rock out for the rest of the night. Put it in ultra power saving mode, rocked out until the next morning. All right, the next morning, my phone was 30%. When I put it on, it was 22%, or matter of fact, maybe 20% the next morning with the ultra power saving mode. So battery life on this, the standby time is ridiculous. Ultra power saving mode is a major go. The only thing I don't like is with heavy usage, you will drain your battery fast. And when I say heavy use, I mean your screen on max. Now, you don't have to be a dick like me and leave your phone on max brightness all the time. But again, $740, I need to see this Quad HD display in full glory. So battery life, you're not going to have a problem. And you do got Quick Charge 3.0. So this is definitely a shit shower and shave phone. I timed it. It took me an hour and 20. I wrote it down. I don't even have that paper. I think it was an hour and let's just say an hour and 20 minutes to go from 0 to 100. Now, I will say the OnePlus 5 did charge faster. I think the OnePlus 5 is the fastest charge phone I got, but that's the difference between 10, 15 minutes. Not really a big deal. All right, so once you plug this in, you do the 3 S's, you're going to be good to go. Look at the fingerprints on this. Disgusting. All right, let's keep it moving. So battery life on this, it's a go. Next, let's talk about Sense Companion. Now, I could easily put this as one of the things that I don't like, but at least you could disable this. Sense Companion is kind of like Bixby and kind of like all these other bullshit assistants. Basically, don't use it because it's kind of whack. But it's just something to look at. I leave it on because it's fun here and there. You get a little, but it's fun, but it's worthless. You outside and your phone is at 30%, you're going to get a little Sense Companion card that tells you, remind you to charge your phone. No, really? Of course I need to charge my phone, you know, come on. And then you go outside every other block, it's recommended restaurants and all that. It's a little cool feature here and there, but it's just like Bixby. You'll probably never use it. If you got used to using Google, you'll use Google. Shout out to HTC for trying though. I'm not mad at that. They tried. But one thing I will say, Sense Companion is weak, but Blink Feed is definitely not weak. Now, Blink Feed compared to Bixby and compared to a lot of these flip boards and all this other bullshit, Blink Feed actually works. And the reason that it works is it doesn't lag your phone out. Now, a lot of these, when you use these programs like this, they lag your phone out. This one doesn't lag. And you could customize it to have all your sports and all your shit. Let's see with politics. Let's see let's see who's lying today. Who got busted lying today. We'll see. But it's cool though. It's a cool little feature. You could disable that if you want, but I actually leave that. So on my phone, I only leave 3 screens. I use the Blink Feed, a little widget screen, and my regular screen. So Sense Companion is meh, MEH. Now, let's talk about one of my favorite features of this phone, the Edge Sense. Or as we call it, if y'all watch my last stream, we call this the squeeze factor, squeezeology. Check this out. Now, all I gotta do is squeeze the phone, take it right to my camera. That is the World Star Hip Hop mode of infinity. You never seen a World Star Hip Hop mode that fast. Not only do I squeeze it to activate the camera, but I squeeze it to take a photo. Come on, man. Now, I hear people say that's a gimmick and all that. How? How, Sway? You ain't got the answer, Sway. How? How could this be a gimmick? Especially once you, especially, I have problems saying that word sometimes. Let me try that again. Especially if you learn how to use this. Now, you talk about clandestine photos. Look, man, a lot of times you go places that you're not supposed to be taking pictures. So if you got your phone in your hand like this, anybody that knows about phones, they know when your thumb is like this, they know it's a picture about to be taken. If you're standing holding your phone like this, a picture is a 90% probability. But when you're holding your phone like this, or you're just holding it like this, nobody ain't thinking you're taking pictures. But you could use your squeeze factor. Now, if you know how to hold your phone the correct way, I'm squeezing and just taking pictures. So you underwater. Now, if you want to take pictures in the pool, you go underwater, you want to take some clandestine photos, you're not going to be able to touch your screen underwater, but you can squeeze it underwater. You see, you get those little lights on the side. To me, this is one of the dopest features of this phone. And not only does it squeeze to World Star Hip Hop, but you can set different levels of squeezes. So now check this out. If I squeeze it super hard, giggity, I just squeeze it and hold it, activates my flashlight. Squeeze it and hold it again, it's gonna deactivate. Oh, I'm hitting the power button. Come on, HTC, don't do it to me on the video. All right, there it goes. All right, flashlight turned off. HTC, don't set me up. I'm trying to help y'all. Hold up, flashlight. There it goes. HTC, y'all trolling me right now. Hold up. All right, there it goes. All right, it usually works better. But look, for the World Star camera, nothing beats that. Now let's go to Edge. I know I'm sounding mad hype, but I love this feature, man. I love this phone. I got a special place for HTC in my heart, so I'm happy that they doing it big again. Let's go to Edge Sense. Now, for your Edge Sense, here goes. Now, this is what I was talking about at the beginning when I said I wish it would have had a little bit more functionality. Right now, you can squeeze it, activate your camera, activate your Google Voice Assistant. You can activate a specific app, but it won't go to, like, say, activate text messaging. It won't text a specific person. It'll just activate your text messaging. Screenshot. Now, screenshot, that's a dope feature, too. If you like me and you're on the hunt for memes all day long. Now, I constantly switch this. So constantly switching. If I'm inside, I'll leave it on screenshot. When I go outside, I'll leave it on World Star. Now, there's some other World Star features on this. We'll talk about that in a second. But you got instant voice recording. You got Sense Companion, trash. And you can turn your Wi-Fi on and off. Now, here's how the screenshot comes into play. Let's take it over to the gram. Now, look. Say I'm on the gram, right? Now, a picture like this, I would need a screenshot of this. All I have to do is squeeze. Bang. Screenshot on deck. Save that for later. All right. All right, so HTC Sense, the squeeze factor. All right, what do they call it? Edge Sense? We'll call it squeeze factor. Squeeze factor is so dope. Don't let anybody tell you that it's a gimmick, man. A lot of this stuff, use it for yourself. All right, before you just watch a video and say, okay, that person said it's a gimmick. Don't just take everybody's word. Go out and try it for yourself. You're going to love this. Let me just see if I could get this to work one more time. I'm back here. All right, there goes a flashlight. Flashlight off. All right, maybe I was just behind the camera at a weird angle. It is what it is. All right, so the squeeze factor on this, that's probably one of my favorite features. I can't wait. Now, I'm hearing through the grapevine that they're going to do an update and make it more functional. So I can't wait for that. HTC, if y'all watching, make it where you can squeeze and dial a specific number. That's going to shut the game down. Next, what else? Let's talk about the processor real quick. Now, you got the Snapdragon 835, you got the Adreno 540 GPU. I'm not a big gamer, but that's the top of the food chain specs. So you're not going to expect any lag, and you don't get any. All right, multitasking on this, beast mode. Look how much stuff I got open in the background at the same time. No lag. You can clear everything. Opens and close apps, super fast, super smooth. Like I said, man, this is my third favorite phone right now. All right, between this, the Pixel XL, OnePlus 5, and the Moto Z. These are the phones that I would give one of these Apple fanboys that, they're still living in the past, think that Android phones be lagging. When you get by the water cooler, there's always that Apple fanboy, oh, I don't like Android because Android lags. You whip out your HTC U11, you pull out your OnePlus 5, your Google Pixel XL, or let's say or the Moto Z. Don't give them a Galaxy, because the Galaxy might give you a hiccup here and there. Give them these phones and let them see for themselves that these phones do not lag and they're super smooth, just as smooth as iPhones. All right, so the process on this, no problems at all. Next, now here's another thing that I like about this phone: customization. Now, this is not a stock Android phone. You got a skin. You got HTC Sense. Now, I've always liked HTC Sense. I've always liked HTC Sense, and let me show you why. You go to personalize. Now you can change your themes. You got a full theme store. You could change the keyboard color. You could change the dialer color. Change all the icons. There's so many things to play with. You see, keyboard color, dialer color. When you go to it, you can edit that specific theme if you want. If you like the theme that you got, but you just want to change some of the accents and all that, you could do all of that too. Now, personally, I don't really change too much stuff. I like the stock basic look, but you could do that if you want. You have the option available. So this is a fully customizable phone. You're not going to get bored. That's the thing. You don't want to get bored. Now, you get a Google Pixel XL, you're going to get bored. If you don't like stock, then you're going to get bored, because it's basically just a plain phone with no features, no gimmicks. EdgeSense, you can call it a gimmick if you want, but I don't, and I use it. So all of that little stuff right there, that especially if you're keeping your phone for over a year, then you don't want to, after 6 months of using the phone like this, now I get bored, I could change the theme and feel like I got a new phone without having to download a whole bunch of Nova launchers and all these other bullshit apps. Let's keep it moving. Let's talk about gestures real quick. You do got a few gestures. Now, here's what I was saying, the other World Star Hip Hop. You want to open your camera, you swipe down twice. Hold up. Now, I'm sweating back here. Let me just wipe. Let me get a little wipe down. All right, here we go. Now, you get 2 swipes, and that activates your camera. Now, it's not as fast as the squeeze factor, but it does work. You got double tap to awake the screen. I'll show you the rest why not, since we right here. Let's go to gesture. Let's go gestures. Let's go to, where the fuck is the my bad. Hold up. I might have to edit that out. I'm back here sweating so much, I can't even think. All right, here we go. Gestures. All right, so you got glove mode. All right, so that means in the wintertime when you're wearing your gloves, you activate glove mode and you can still get some screen responsivityness. Let's see, you got color temperature. You got night mode, so I was saying that if you fall asleep with your phone on max brightness, when you wake up, just look at your toggles, activate night mode. All right, so here's your motion gestures. All right, so you got double tap to awake the phone. You got swipe to unlock. Swipe left to go home. Now, these are features for when the screen display is completely off. So when the screen is completely off, you swipe left, and I'll say you was looking at some adult websites, and somebody's right next to you, like, oh, let me see something on your phone. You swipe left, and it's automatically going to open your phone to the home page instead of opening up to whatever you was looking at last. Swipe right for blink feed, and swipe twice down for the camera. That's the World Star activation. Not as fast, but it does work. Now, one thing I forgot to mention with the EdgeSense, one thing that was kind of getting on my nerves, because I'm heavy-handed. I got big, strong hands. So I had it on World Star Hip Hop with the camera. Now, every time I was at Six Flags and I kept pulling the phone out of my pocket, I would be squeezing it and activating the camera. And I was just about to say, I don't like this. And then I realized at the top, when you go to your toggles, you got EdgeSense. So now if you want, you could deactivate that by just pressing one button. Now you turn off the squeeze factor. So this way, if you're somewhere where you got to constantly keep going in and out of your pocket, and you don't want to take a screenshot, you don't want to activate your camera, turn that off. Then when you're going back into the real world, turn it back on. So that's something I wanted to mention. Let's keep it moving. Lag factor, we almost out of here. Lag factor. All right, now y'all know we got 2 categories left. Lag factor. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most lag and 1 being no lag at all, I'm giving this phone a solid 1. I haven't seen any lag on this phone yet. Now, a lot of people confuse lag with hiccups. You get a hiccup here and there on all Android phones, even with the Pixel XL. You get a hiccup here and there when you go to your notifications, you hit clear all. That happens to me a lot of times. You hit clear all, and sometimes you get a brief second where the phone won't do anything. That's not lag, that's a little hiccup. A lot of Android phones have that problem, especially with the Galaxy phones. When you hit clear all, if you got mad notifications, there's always a brief second of the phone is just being frozen. That's not lag. So lag factor on this, lag is when you open up one app and it takes forever to open that app up. Then you exit out, you hit your multitask, you try to switch to something else. Then it's like stuck on that. That's lag. This phone has no lag. So lag factor, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm giving it a 1. Now, we got one more category. Let's talk about the floss factor. Now, if you don't know what the floss factor is, here we go. I got to wipe this down so we can get maximum floss factor on this. Floss factor. You got your brand new HTC U11. All right. Somebody got a Google Pixel XL. Somebody got a OnePlus 5. Somebody got a Galaxy S8 Plus. Somebody got an iPhone 7. Somebody got a Moto Z. Somebody got an LG G6. Somebody got a Huawei Mate 9. All of these phones in the same environment, in the same room at the same time. Where do you fit in on the food chain? Are you a big boss or are you a peasant on the bottom of the food chain? Well, with the HTC U11, you are officially sitting on top of the food chain. Now, you're not a lion. You don't got the Galaxy S8 Plus. You're not a lion, but you're like a hyena. All right, now, if you know anything about the jungle, lions, they don't really prey on hyenas. All right, they up there. Hyenas are up there in the food chain. This is the hyena phone. You up there on the top of the food chain, because if you got this one and your man got the red one, now you're like a pack of wild hyenas, and a pack of wild hyenas, they will bring it to a lion. All right, we'll get into some nature shit later, but this phone right here, the floss factor on this is through the roof. Now, if you pull this out with no case and you're in the correct sunlight, you might catch a charge for blinding somebody. All right, the floss factor on this is through the roof. This is HTC's best phone that they came out with, I would say, ever. Now, that's saying a lot, because you remember they used to have the dual speakers on the front, IR blasters and all of that. Yeah, all that stuff was dope, but performance-wise, camera-wise, low-light photos, that mic, the squeeze factor, the optical, wait, let me say it one more time. The optical spectrum hybrid deposition, liquid glass. Y'all ever seen the Terminator Part 2? This the liquid Terminator. This phone is so dope. Anyway, that's my full review on the HTC U11. On a scale of 1 to 10, I would say buy this. All right, buy this immediately. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what y'all think about this. Shout out to everybody that rock with me on Facebook, Foursquare, Twitter, Google+. Shout out to all the Google gangsters. I see y'all holding down that Facebook page. Shout out to everybody hitting me up on Voxer. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with me on Instagram. Y'all know that's where I'm at full time, 100% full throttle. And a special shout out to everybody rocking with the new stream on Sundays. Y'all already know, Stream Gangsters on deck. Get your drinks ready. No meat boys allowed. Oh yeah, special shout out to everybody following me on Snapchat, Flossy_Carter. That's where I'm at. And a special shout out to the notification squad. I see y'all in the comment section early. #salute. Oh yeah, one more thing. I almost forgot. Fellas, ladies, say it with me. All y'all haters, all y'all trolls, close your eyes and picture me rolling. It's your boy Floss, I'm out. Deuces. Spock, one to beam up. Energize.